What's up, everyone? Hello, I'm Jay. Excited to kick us off this morning, give a client status update for my team. Our client implementation is named TRAM, stands for Trustless Refinement and Accumulation Machine. So I'll do a brief introduction, talk a bit about the development journey, talk about TRAM, our implementation. Then I'm going to talk a few minutes about TBM, which is our PBM implementation. Talk about next steps, where do we go from here, and then open it up for some Q&A. Hello world, I'm Jay. My background is in computer and electrical engineering, so more on the hardware side. So naturally I tend to approach things from more of a bottom-up perspective. I've got a few years of experience running nodes at scale for a large investment firm. And I'm very interested, I enjoy board and card games. I always travel with fun card games, so definitely chat me up if you enjoy games. And more on the adrenaline side, I like riding motorcycles and taking Jeeps off-roading the mountains. So definitely chat me up if any of our interests happen to align. Development journey. I've been building TRAM for about 6 months at this point, focusing on TRAM. I'm just going to do a quick month-by-month overview. So months 1 through 2, really just starting to get some traction. You've got the serialization, data structures, working in a different language, so doing working in Python, so doing VRF bindings down to the ARC VRF crate, getting Saffroll off the ground. Months 3, some minor refactoring, getting the rest of the components up, passing test vectors that were available at the time, and then spent the last bit of that doing a bit of PBM exploration, brainstorming what a recompiler would look like. So really, 1 through 3, kind of getting off the ground, getting some traction, starting to build the STF, or TRAM. Months 4 and 5, this was a big pivot to the PBM implementation, TBM. So months 4, pretty much spent the whole month in a cave building a PBM recompiler, a single pass recompiler without any host function support. Moving on to month 5, building some momentum, adding host functions for general accumulation. Doing some refactors that came out of that, dovetailed from that work. Also building and describing a simple and generic PBM interface. And then working on the invocation functions for the PBM. Lastly, month 6 and 7, just doing some minor open source stuff. Working on the bridge between TRAM and TBM. And here we are, we're all accumulating in Lisbon together. So TRAM. It's written in Python. It's following a service-oriented concurrency model. And it's going to support a number of operating modes out of the gate. Currently, we're pre-M1 status, looking to go M1 in a few months. So we're going to be. TBM. This is our PBM implementation. It stands for Trustless Virtual Machine. It's written in Rust. It's composed of an assembler and runtime crates. And we're building it with security, performance, and reusability in mind. So we're using process isolation as a means of achieving security. We built a JIT assembler, and we're minimizing the memory I/O as much as possible. We're focusing on performance. And then we've defined a simple reusable interface across projects and across languages. Currently, it's passing those 5 test vectors, and we're working on a set of host function test vectors that we hope to come back to the community and work with everyone on towards. There's PR out there that we're basing our software. So next steps, where do we go from here? Finalize the TBM to TRAM integration, get a perf testing framework up, and prove out some of our architectural level assumptions that we're making, and then M1 compliance. So that's kind of where we go from here. Really focusing on, we're planning for this to be a production level validator, so we're not just rushing to M1, we're focusing on more of the long pull, getting to M5, getting something in production quality, and doing it right the first time. So now I'm going to open up for Q&A, and this is a QR code to the GitHub organization. I've got anyone's doing Python, I've got a Python's bindings library up, just a few smaller things, but this is where the code will be dropped when it goes live. Any questions?
How many people in your team?
Currently 2 to 3. Yeah, a couple developers.
And are you working full time on this?
I'm dedicating about 40 or so hours a week.
Yeah.
But it depends, it varies.
And where are you based?
The States.
States. What city? States is so big.
East Coast, where the mountains are, go off-roading and all this sort of stuff. So it just depends, you know.
Okay.
Where the mountains are? I'm Colorado.
Maybe I'll come visit you, do some off-roading over there. I think I need to get a lift kit first. Anyone else?
You make a separation between the PVM language you build it in and the runtime. The considerations are performance related, I suppose. And you mentioned you are building a recompiler. So I think you're really at the forefront of that innovation. Can you dive into that a bit?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you mentioned, we're definitely, I mean, we chose Python out of the gate for a number of reasons, but there are 2 distinct projects. There's a state transition function, TRAM, and then there's a TVM, PVM implementation, which we're hoping to see some reuse across other projects, other implementation teams. And so naturally working in different languages, it was really natural to think of that kind of boundary layer between the 2 as that distinct separation. And you know, you saw in month 1 that I had already done some bindings level work between Python and Rust for the RPRF library. So it was kind of a natural dovetail to go towards that. But yes, definitely a strategic choice. Yeah.
We are all, I think, very much looking forward to Jan's workshop tomorrow, going into the recompiler. But could you tell a little bit about what you've been doing on that end?
Yeah, I don't want to say too much because of the clean room requirements and everything. But like I mentioned, it's a runtime assembler crate. You know, build the code and run it in parallel. Currently, it's just a single pass and then run everything. But we're looking to do a number of optimizations on top of that. Yeah, so we can talk later too.
Sure, no problem.
Once I have a better feel for these sort of
Great.
non-technical things to lay the land. But yeah, thank you for asking.
So your code is not open yet, right?
That's correct. Right now, the TVM and TRAM they're both private.
So do you have any plans to open it?
For sure, that's the goal. I mean, that's what we're gonna do.
Any timeline?
Hopefully within the next couple months. I mean, it's hard to predict timelines, you know, but maybe 3 months. Any other questions? And feel free to chat me up afterwards, or DM me as well.
Okay, thank you, Jay.
Thank you.